Hello and welcome to the next C++ lesson. My name is Piotr Cybulski and I'll be your guide today too. In the first lesson I told you about comments, and right now I would like to remind it. There are two kinds of comments we use in C++. The first one is a straight comment, like we see here. We can put it everywhere we want to. Like I told you before, we started it by 2 slashes at the beginning, and then you can type whatever you need to. It can be an explanation about some code or whatever. Comments are using to describe a little part of program. You can put it next to your code or on the next line. It doesn't matter actually. It can be here or maybe below the code we would like to comment. The second one is known as a block comment. I'm creating it by using slash and star sign on the top and start and slash sign and the button. Let me show you this. Okay, this is the beginning of the block comment, and we can end it somewhere below, and everything between them is as our comment. For example, I can type this anything I would like, and I don't have to put the slashes at the beginning every line. It's enough to put those slash and star at the beginning and at the end of our comment block. We can comment second line comment. Okay, everything which you put inside will be comment. Compiler doesn't see it all. Comments are using also for excluding some parts of program for a while. Sometimes you will need to treat some part of code as a comment. You can use straight or block comment to do it and remove it whenever you want. For example, I can comment this line which was responsible for displaying hello world on the screen for a minute. Maybe I have to check something and I don't want to delete this line because I will need it later, so I can comment it for now and uncomment it later. Let me show you. If I will comment this line and execute my program, it shows nothing. It shows just a black window because I've commented this line which was responsible for displaying hello world. So it just only seen get, which means to wait for some key to be pressed. Okay, I uncommented. In this lesson I would like to tell you something about data types and variables. We've learned so far how to display some text on screen, and as I said, our well-functioned program is correct, but correct isn't enough in this case. You know, it's not a big thing display something on screen. We can do it also using simple applications or simple programs. We could just write hello world on Microsoft Word. It's not that C++ programming is used to. Real programming is based on dealing with numbers and performing the operations on them. That's why we need to use variable. I'll try to explain what the variable is by using adding in memory. Let's say we have two numbers, 10 and 5. Our task is to add 5 to 10 and save the result. We also have to save numbers we are adding, 5 and 10. Why am I telling this? Right now it's simple to remember result of adding two simple numbers. But imagine you have to remember somehow a results of adding 500 different numbers. It's impossible to remember and time consuming for sure. That's why we use variable. Variable is kind of space in our program memory for saving some values. I'll show you right now how to define and use variables. Variable has to have a variable identifier, which can be a letter, a number, or an underscore. variable identifier never starts by number. There's also can be a space in name of it, and remember, C++ language distinguishes between uppercase and lowercase letters. So you have to be careful. Upper and lowercase letters are treated as two different variable identifiers. There are also some words reserved by compiler which you can't use as a name of variable, but it's not necessary to explain it right now. We'll be back later on this matter. Every variable has its type. We have to give a sign to our system what kind of data we will be saved on it. For example, real number, a string, an integer, also positive numbers, negative numbers, or both. I'll tell you really simple about this variable. But we need to start off understanding how the system memory works. The memory is organized in bytes. As you probably know, byte is the smallest memory cell which we can control in C++ language. Please remember it. 1 byte is able to save only one sign or small numbers from 0 to 255. Of course, there are much more complicated type of it, but let's focus on the basic right now. I'll introduce you 4 basic data types. I'll delete those comments, we don't need them anymore. And inside a block comment I'll write about the data types. First type is char. It has 1 byte of memory. It can hold 1 letter, and letter or sign, anything from the character, only one. Another type, data type, is int. It's integer variable. It saves 4 bytes of memory. Another data type is float. It can hold real numbers. It comes some, for example, 2.455. Int can hold, for example, yes, and char can hold, for example, a letter B. Another fourth type is bool. Bool is a variable which can hold only 2 states, true or false. It's very useful. It can be true or false, which means 1 or 0. In programming, 1 positive numbers are always true and 0 is always false. Remember it. It will be very helpful. Okay, let's talk about variable declarations right now. Every type and name of variable has to be declared as a variable identifier. Let's say I want to declare integer variable named a. The type of integer variable is int. Variable plus space and name a ended by semicolon. The command will look like this. First, data type. I want the variable to be integer type, so I type int space and name of the variable which I want to use. I want to be called a, and at the end of the line I put semicolon, and I have declared variable of type integer of name a. If we need to declare more than one integer variable, we can do this with different names separated by commas. For example, a, b, c. And right now I have declared 3 variables of type integer, a, b, c. We can also do it in different way, as declare each of the variables separately. As you can see right here, I can type int a semicolon on some other line int b semicolon and int c. It means exactly the same as it before. I also have 3 variables abc right now, which I can use. for some calculations, which I will show you in a minute. All information you need about data types I will be placed on my website. Right now I just want to tell you that integer type contains from minus 2 billions 147 millions to plus 2 billions 147 millions number. So it's a very big number. That's why in C++ language we can declare if our variable has to represent positive value, negative value, or both of them. So a variable a can hold, for example, minus, I don't know if it's a billion, million, yes, exactly, minus 2 billions. And remember about semicolon. Any number, you can't exceed those limit, because it will be a compiler error and your program won't start. It will be a warning. As I said, integer variable can hold from minus to plus integers, numbers. But what if I would like to hold only positive numbers? Then I can type unsigned int, for example d. This time variable d can't hold any negative numbers, and it sums what the limits are. So right now variable d can hold up to 4 billions, over 4 billions numbers, one number. So it's very much, but I can't hold a negative number. Even I can't hold even -1 or -2 in this variable. To do this, I have to delete unsigned symbol and just leave the integer. For example, let's say I would like to hold account balance in some variable. I can't use integer type because it has to hold cents. So the best data type for this task is float. So I'll declare a variable of type float and I'll call it account balance, a semicolon. Right now, remember that can be a space between account and balance. Right now it's an error. You can't use space in naming of variables. So right now account balance can hold all real numbers. Okay, now I'll tell you about the range of variables. All of our variables ABC, D and account balance are declared inside the main function here. And that's why they are named local variables. They occur locally within the main function. But we can also declare a global variable which will be visible in every program element. Let's try to declare one. For example, when I want to declare a global variable, I have to do it outside of main function. So let's say I would like to create global variable of type integer, so I type int and I'll call it global underscore var and semicolon at the end. It is outside of main function, that's why I have access to that variable in every part of my program. It has its good and bad sides, of what you'll see later. I would like to say something about assigning a value to variable. Up to now we just declare variables which are empty. They don't have any value inside. You can initialize a variable by assigning its value to it. Let's say we create a variable and want to assign to it some value. We can do this as follows. I can type integer a equals, for example, 10. So right now I have declared variable a of type integer and assign number 10 to it. Okay, let's do the same with the variable b. This time let's it be equal to 5. So I have two variables, a and b, which is equal to 10 and 5. C++ language gives you also a chance to initialize a value in different way by entering a value between brackets, as you see, as I'll show you in a minute. Let's say I want to assign number 6 to variable c. I can do this in this way. I open parentheses and type inside number 6 right after the name of the variable. So right now this variable is equals to 6. Variable d, I'll delete it. Okay. Right now I have only account balance variable which isn't declared. It isn't initialized. We don't want to use an uninitialized variable, but let's say I want to assign 14.5 to a variable account balance. I don't have to do it at the same line as declare when I declare a variable. I can do it below in any other place. I just have to copy the name of the variable equals 14.5 and semicolon at the end. So from now to the end of the program, this variable has 14.5 value inside of it. Of course, at the every moment of our program, I can reinitialize our variables. Let's say that in here I want to assign number 20 to the a variable. So right now, from here up till end, a variable a will be equal 20, not 10. This value is been overwritten by 20. We also have to remember that we can't assign, for example, real number to the integer variable. For example, I can't assign number 20.67 to the variable a because it can hold only integer numbers. We declared a variable as an int. We could assign those values to the account balance variable because it has a type of float. Okay, so we can do this. Right now, let's try to do a simple operation on variables. I'll create another variable which will hold a result of some operation. It will be integer variable. Let's call it result. And I would like that result can hold the result of adding two variables, a and b. How can I do that? First type, I can do that by assigning, and also in the same line as I declared this variable, result of operation adding a plus b. So right now, what compiler will do? It will put 10 into the variable a and 5 into the variable b, add those two numbers, and result 15 will be assigned to the variable result. To show you that it happened, I can display this variable on screen. How can we display it? As you remember, we were using cout symbol statement. So I can type cout and name of the variable result and a semicolon. I'll execute this program and you will see what will happen. As we thought, it said hello world because at the beginning of a program I displayed hello world on the screen, and at the end, without any spaces, there is 15, which is the result of adding a to b. As I said before, we also have a char in data type, which can hold one character. For example, I can create variable which will be called letter and assign some letter to it. Not a number, but a letter. How can we assign a letter to the variable? Firstly, we have to do it between the apostrophes. So, when I would like to, for example, assign letter x to the variable letter, I have to do it with the apostrophe and semicolon. Sorry, apostrophe. Oh, okay. So right now I have a variable letter which has a value of an x inside of it. You may wonder why we want to have one letter in the variable, but trust me, it will be very helpful in the future. As I was mentioning before, there is also a bool variable which saves true or false values only. So I'll declare bool variable. Let's call it truth, and assign to it. It can be assigned only two values, true or false, and we do this by typing true or false, followed by semicolon. From now on, the variable truth will have a value false. You may wonder what does false or true mean, and I will get back to it soon. I guarantee you it's one of the most popular and most important variable in C++ language. You will find about it later. Recently we have displayed text hello world on the screen. The same thing we may do with our variables. Let's say we want to display on screen account balance variable. Then we should use a command as I do it here. I'll copy it and I'll just have to type cout and name of the variable under those signs. So right now it will display value of account balance variable to the screen. I execute this. Yes, and it shows 14.5. This is the value of the variable account balance. Exactly. Hello world text and 14.5 value were displayed without the transition to the next line, and the program is waiting for us to press the button. How to display two different texts with transition to the next line? There are two ways. First, we can display endline symbol came from endline endl. The command will follow cout endline. For example, we want to display text hello world. After this text, we want to go to the next line and then display account balance value. So after displaying hello world, we want to go to the next line. We can do this first way is to, after those signs, we just type endl. It's just a shortcut from end line. And right now, when I execute the program, you will see what will happen. Okay. It showed hello world, which after that was breaking to the next line and displayed a value of the account balance variable with breaking. The second way is to put inside the text we want to display \n. And right now it works as the end line as I showed you before. Let's execute the program and it works exactly the same. After hello world there is a break line and it says 14.5. So whatever method you would want to use, it just doesn't matter. The effect is the same. Cout give you many opportunities. Let's say I would like to change the state of account balance variable and its description. It would look like this. I would like first to display text account balance equals to, and I close it, the question mark. So right now I've typed the text. It is the text, the same as the hello world. I'll put a semicolon at the end, and on the other line there is displayed value of the variable. This is the text and this is the value of the variable account balance. When I execute it, let's see what happens. Exactly. It showed hello world as the first line, then account balance equals to. This is our text. I can type here anything I want, and later it puts the value of the variable account balance. So it says 14.5. Account balance equals to 14.5. I can do this also in the same line. I don't have to type cout each time I want to display something. I can attach to the first cout variable which I want to display, followed by the semicolon. I can delete the line below. It will work exactly the same. It will show account balance equals to, and it will attach a value of the account balance variable to the screen. Let's say if it's true. Yes, exactly. It works exactly the same. Please pay attention to this. The first part of the statement, account balance, is a text. That's why it's contained in quotation marks. It have to be at the beginning, at the end of the text. I can't type something like this because compiler thinks that account is the name of the variable. Well, it's not. It is an error. It's just a text, so it has to be closed by the quotation marks at the beginning and at the end. I can type here anything I want. It doesn't matter. It's just a text. When I execute this program, it will say something stupid, but it works. It said account balance equals to our gibberish and account balance value at the end. So remember about the quotation marks, it's very important. I mentioned earlier that we can save one character to the char variable, and also the same characters can be stored in the additional C++ library, which is named string library. Because char can only hold one letter, one sign, and if we would like to hold a name or anything, some longer text, we would have to use another type. It's more complex type. It's a string type. How can we declare it? I'll show you. First, we have to include library string. We do it by typing include string, and right now we can declare another type, which is string type, which can hold a longer text, not only one character. So I can do it by typing string type, name of the variable right now, for example name, and I can assign to it in quotation marks, for example Bob, and end. It have to open and closed by the quotation mark, of course followed by semicolon. Right now I've declared variable name, which can hold many characters, not only one character like type char, but many characters, and this type is string. So right now I can do something like this. We'll display account balance on the screen. After account balance, I want to break the line, so I attached end line symbol, and below it I want to display the name of the variable, value of the variable. So let's say it will show the name is, I close quotation mark and attached variable name here with the semicolon, and I'll execute. What do you think it will happen? It's not hard, so I think you were right. It said hello world first, account balance equals 14.5, and the last line is the name is Bob. What just happened? It's displayed this text and attached value of the variable name to the end of it. So the whole line says the name is Bob. Okay, I think you should check all those data types again, try to manipulate it, declaring, adding some operations, and I think it will be enough for this lesson. We'll see you soon in the lesson number 3 this time. Bye, thank you for watching.